Hello, trombone friends. This is Dr. Jeff Phillips. I'm the professor of trombone at Belmont University in Nashville, and I'm going to start my trombone mid-state tutorials for this year. This is the 7th and 8th grade technical excerpt. First of all, I want to say that all the excerpts are new this year, so make sure that if some older student or director gave you one at the end of this last school year and said, hey, this is what it's going to be because this is what it was a couple years ago, and you've been practicing it all summer, that you stop doing that and you get the new ones that were released just here the last part of August. Okay, and they are all new. They are all originally composed for each instrument for MTSBOA. So these are all new to me also, but they all work pretty well. So this technical 7th and 8th grade excerpt, it is in, first of all, it is in the key of E flat. So make sure you know your E flat scale. I'll talk about scales in a separate video, but one handy thing for this particular key that a lot of younger students and older students don't do is play that higher D in 4th position. So I just want to show you that. And it might be good to just play through an E flat scale a few times and make sure you've got what it takes to play in this key. So what I did there. Instead of okay, one, you'll knock your teeth out, but two, it just makes things a lot more convenient and you can make the switch a much clearer. So that high D is in sort of a flat 4th position, just like the high E flat. It's going to be a little further out than a normal 3rd. So it'll depend on your horn. You just have to use your ear and make sure that those octaves match up. But it should be a little bit further out than like where an A flat or a C is. Okay, so and the D in 4th will be about the same. So instead of a G where the 4th position G is, or the B natural, then it's going to be a little further out. But if you'll get used to that at this stage of the game, I think it'll make not just this piece, but it'll make a lot of things easier for you. Okay? All of these excerpts this year, regardless of the grade, are very specifically marked with articulation marks. So I'm going to try to pay attention to those, or at least I'm going to try to, and also with a lot of written dynamics for some changes there. So I'm going to first try to just plow straight through it and make as few mistakes as I can, and then we'll go back and talk about some things to make it easier for you, or some things to watch out for. Okay, so okay, well, I think that was all right. So a couple things to look out for. You have accents this way, and you have staccato dots. So you want to make sure that you play them differently. So the good thing is this starts out forte. So if you'll start out with a good healthy sound, not blatty, and try to get a good front of the tongue, back of the top teeth articulation, ta. Okay, and not like super short, just a good front end on the note. Okay, and again, watching the pitch on the D and the E flat. I'm gonna play those like normal and see. Hopefully, you can tell the difference. Normal 3rd position. And I'll guarantee the judges will hear that a lot on that day. So you want to pull that down. Much better, right? All right. So Also, watch the dotted 8/16. It's in the first full measure that you're accurate with when you do that. A good thing to practice for that is go and play 3/16 on the B flat, just for practice, so you know exactly where that G is going to go. And then get where you think that. Okay? And that will help you get that in the right spot. That's a sudden dynamic change on the second full measure as you go down to the mezzo forte, so be careful of that. Look at the 1, 2, the third measure. Okay? So practice that slowly so that you're able to play those staccato 8s on beat 2 lightly. Don't think necessarily short, just think light articulation. As long as we're stopped, let's talk just a brief little bit about slurs, although you can find more about slurry at www.jeffphillipstrombone.com. I have a whole video on that. But you have natural slurs, like from E flat to G. I don't have to articulate that. It's sort of like doing a lip slur, but I'm moving my slide. And then the next one from the A flat to the G, of course, you have to articulate. So make sure you use a da tongue, a little more to the roof of your mouth. Again, watch the slur video and you'll kind of learn how to do that if you're not sure. So, but you want to make sure they sound the same. Okay? So you don't want. Okay? So you want them to sound all smooth but distinct notes. Beat 3 in that measure, you do have an option. If you're adventurous, you might want to consider playing the B flat, the last note of that measure, in a sharp 5th position. I'm just going to let you know that it exists. If you do that, you have a natural slur. It's worth playing. If you've never done that B flat in sharp 5th position, experiment with it. You'll find it useful in a lot of keys sometimes. So it's there. If not, you have to articulate it. C to B flat in the next measure, the next to last measure on the first line, natural slur. But then articulate for the A. And then natural slur, C to A. So you got a lot of different type slurs in there, so a good thing to do would be to work on slurring on an E flat scale, and maybe in an E flat arpeggio, just so you get those techniques where they come naturally to you and then you can apply them in the piece. Okay, on to the second line. There's another one of our dotted 8/16. So okay, so you can get that 16th in exactly the right spot. Slur from A flat to B flat. Have to articulate there, unless you want to play in that one in 5th position, and it could be done, but in this particular case, I would just consider you to be weird. Okay, so now notice that one in the second measure, that'd be measure 7. Tongue, slur, but it's also got a dot. So articulate it slightly there on the A flat, so it kind of punctuates beat 2. Okay, and all through that you should be crescendoing. I would need to work on that just a little more myself. Okay, then you're going to drop down when you get in the last 2 measures. Rhythm here, 8th quarter 8th, and then 8th quarter 8th. Okay, so 1 and 3 and 1 and 3. Okay, so the syncopated note, the long note that comes in between the 2 short notes, the quarter that comes in between the 2 eighths, put a little emphasis there. He said emphasis. Doesn't he mean emphasis? Okay, so. Okay, so it sort of brings that note out. All right, well, that's your tutorial for the technical 7th and 8th grade excerpt. I'll put all of these on separate ones, so one, they don't last too long, and two, you can kind of zero in on the ones that you need. If you do require any additional help, again, check out my website. You can contact me there at www.jeffphillipstrombone, all crammed together.com. And good luck on your audition. Like the shirt? Shout out to Josh Hauser.